welcome to Reunion Arena, site of this first ever All-Southwest Conference showdown in the Midwest Regional Final, as the 10th seeded University of Texas looks to lock horns with the 4th seed, the Razorbacks of Arkansas. As everyone knows what's at stake, a ticket to the Final Four, and already the Blue Devils of Duke from the East have booked reservations to Denver, while the next set of confirmations will come from right here in the Midwest Regional Final. Inside a Reunion Arena, a packed house as the fans have been screaming to the top of their lungs a full half hour before the contest. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Brown along with Bill Raftery. And Bill, both of these squads, Arkansas and Texas, like to believe they represent the new breed of teams in the Southwest Conference, up-tempo team. Without a doubt, the key to both clubs, their guards.
The offense of the 90s, get it up and down. Of course, when you think of Mays, a great shooter, they've got Joey Wright, a penetrator, but maybe the key, Lance Blanks. He's going to have a big game, step it up. He's so enthusiastic. And on the other side, two talented performers. Lee Mayberry, the penetrator. He finds people, does the right thing all the time, does not turn the ball over. And a wonderful performer, Todd Day, 6'7". They say he's going to get bigger, sees it all, and can make the three, as well as put it on the floor and take it strong to the hole.
Starting lineups for both ball clubs for Texas. Lance Blanks, Loxley Collie, Panama Myers at the center spot, Joey Wright, and Travis Mays at the guard. For Arkansas, Todd Day, Lindsey Howell, Mario Credit, Lee Mayberry, and Arlen Bowers. Texas and Arkansas have met twice this season. Arkansas has won by an average of only 8 points. Referees for today's contest: Mickey Crowley from Holbrook, New York, Tim Higgins from Ramsey, New Jersey, and Frank Bassoni from Bellevue, Washington. Tom Pender, second year at Texas, second consecutive NCAA appearance with the Longhorns. And Nolan Richardson, 5th season at Arkansas, second consecutive year as Southwest Conference Coach of the Year. These two guys know each other well, respect each other, and are great psychologists.
They get along once in a while.
Tip is controlled by Arkansas. This is Todd Day back to Lee Mayberry. Lindsey Howell, very offensive-minded.
Straight up man-to-man, and Lindsey Howell has played well against Texas. Real solid tournament performance as well.
Full court press by the Razorbacks. Texas knows all about it. And a foul whistle. Arlen Bowers will pick up his first, personal teams first.
And James, Lance Blanks got an assist that he didn't expect to. They stripped him of the basketball. The two big guys underneath, Myers and Loxley Collie, have to play a terrific ball game. They don't get it much, but when they get it, they have to go strong and, of course, rebound big against this terrific Arkansas team.
Lance Blanks 0 for 8 from the field Thursday night against Xavier. Came back in the second half and scored 26 points.
Well, we all know it's a neighborhood battle, but these two teams woof, bark, and chat with one another all ball game. They're very physical.
And we're all tied.
Texas straight up man-to-man.
Lindsey Howell being defended by Loxley Collie. That's a key matchup for Texas. Howell much more offensive-minded than he's been all season, averaging only 13 a game.
And right here is the big matchup, too. Travis Mays on Todd Day. He can take him inside, of course, shoot over him.
Mayberry. Lee Mayberry looking for a shot early. Travis Mays. And it's a 2. And we're tied at 4.
Arkansas likes to attack the jump shot, make them penetrate. It was effective in both games. However, a different attitude, I think, with Texas. Their emotions will force them to drill those long jumpers.
Day inside, off the backboard. This is Lance Blanks. Panama Myers misses the layup, and it stays Texas ball. Now, if you ask Panama Myers, he realizes he's got to score because he will not see many passes from the guard.
Well, Panama's got to have his hands ready. They don't touch it often, so it is a surprise when it's thrown to them.
And that's one of the reasons the guards don't throw it to the big guys inside. They claim the big guys don't convert.
I think it's an easy out for the guards to shoot the ball.
Big guys believe it. Travis Mays hammered by Lee Mayberry, who grabbed him on the wrist.
Now that's what Nolan Ryan has done in both games. Nolan wants the non-shooting foul. He doesn't get it, but he wants them to go to the hole and then run at the next shooter.
Now Nolan Richardson complaining that the foul was committed while Mays was on the floor and not in the act of shooting. Excellent matchup between Mayberry and Mays, both co-players of the year in the Southwest Conference.
Mayberry, just a terrific performer, has that knowledge, that ingredient to run a team, and it makes it easier for Nolan.
Did Nolan have a good argument?
Yes, he did. Real good one. Before he hops up, you can see the strip isn't into the shooting position. Great NBA hop by Travis Mays,
which is where he'd like to play next year. 6-4, Texas lead. Just underway here, Midwest Regional Final.
There's both games won by Arkansas during the course of the season. They really go after one another full court with the pressure, but pound the dribble down. A lot of open shots with these two teams. The quality bench is one for Arkansas both times.
Credit with the rebound and score. Third tie in the early going here. 6-6 ball game.
Texas had a little trouble with the press in both games. Nice one.
Inside look to Myers.
A lapse defensively, not expecting the interior pass.
And Bill, I think that's the key. Unexpected look, going to the big men inside.
Hal, really confident player.
Now, Arlen Bowers is one player that Texas said they'll leave open. Howell for three. Mays high, but off of Texas Razorbacks ball.
Well, we mentioned the inability to look inside, but when forced to on occasion, they will find their partner. But you noticed on the other end, Mays, they can play three small guards because Mays is a great rebounder.
Howell lost the handle, fans wanted to walk. This is Bowers. Great hustle by Lance Blanks, but he throws it back to Arkansas. Day for three.
Now hustling right now, now a walk. Anytime you fall to the floor or get up from the floor, it's an easy walk. Arkansas, not a great rebounding team, very active early.
Out-rebounded 40-37 as an average on the season, Arkansas. A little surprising with two big guys like Mario Credit and Oliver Miller.
Miller, a great passer. That's the guy that sparks them when he comes in. He finds people. But in the game in Austin, Nolan Richardson took that stroll. What do you call it? Strolling with Nolan. Because Penny's not too happy with officiating here as the strip by Credit.
And Colley gets fouled by Credit. Now, Billy, again, the unexpected. Let's dwell on that. Texas not known to pass to either of the big guys on the inside in the early going, looking for them.
Well, I think the forcing of the dribble has everybody stepping up defensively in the back, and then you can find people. But, of course, to finish the thought on Nolan, he walked off, said he won't do that again. I said to him, did you come back because you knew you had a shot to win in overtime? He said, absolutely. He didn't want to give the assistant credit for the win.
He's no fool.
But you can picture that Texas dribbling ability, and if the defense steps up on them, all the big guys have to do is square up. That could be a problem.
Colley, 6'7" junior from Nassau, the Bahamas. A world of talent.
And do they have him on the guards? When you get yourself free and don't fumble it, don't walk, and we'll give it to you. He keeps nodding his head. I don't think he believes in him completely. Little play for Day here.
Mayberry kisses and scores.
He really uses the glass well. Great angle shooter. That's what makes them so tough. They can shoot the three so anybody penetrates.
Howell with the steal. 2-on-1 to Mayberry. Lee Mayberry leading the Arkansas Charge with 6 of the 10 points. We're tied at 10. This is Mays. Mayberry with the rebound.
Head up, sees things. Very unselfish.
Bad pass by Arlen Bowers. They call that a lone pass on the playground. Too low, you have to give it back.
Because Texas didn't value the ball. 22 turnovers in their last game against nice high low.
Credit. Score.
Howell doing a little bit of everything. And this is all without Miller. Nolan rests him.
Arkansas in the middle of a 6-0 run with a 2-point lead. Mays passes to Myers.
By default, and Myers may have been bumped as well. The trouble with pressuring Texas, they now become creative. It's a fast break, and they can find people or shoot the deep one.
Razorbacks indicated it's important to get Mario Credit into the game early. That's why they were looking for him down low.
Good help, but you can really get punished by helping too much against this Arkansas club.
This is Credit, the 6'9" senior. Bad pass by Dave. Myers with the steal.
The real leader, I think, after sitting with the players is Joey Wright.
This is Blanks for 3. And it's Arkansas ball. So we've got the shootout we expected, all knotted up at 12 apiece.
Most cars are designed specifically to handle this, the sales curve. The BMW 325 IS is influenced by curves of a slightly different nature. Before you choose a car engineered for the whims of the marketplace, consider one designed for undulations of a far more relevant variety.
I mean, what do I need a computer for? I'm not an accountant. But why should I be the company guinea pig?
Why do I need one now? I've done fine without one. Can you imagine me working on a computer?
Macintosh has the power to change your mind about computers. The power to be your best.
So I was wrong.
In country music, there's a lot of songs about drinking and a lot of songs about driving. And there's not a thing wrong with singing them both in the same show. But if you've been drinking, don't take your show on the road. Please don't drink and drive.
A reminder from George Strait and Bud Light.
The critics are raving. Common Ground is splendid television. Directed from the gut, CCH Pounder gives a heart-tugging performance. And Jane Curtin is an absolute revelation. Common Ground, Sunday.
All even in this Southwest Conference shootout between Texas and Arkansas, and Nolan Richardson admitted that his team struggled in the games against Princeton and Dayton, exploded against North Carolina, hoping that the time bomb is still potent today here against Texas. Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Mario Credit, Lindsey Howell, and Arlen Bowers, the 5 for the Razorbacks.
They reversed the ball very well, looked to dump it down from the top or the side.
And if you look at Mario Credit inside, he looks to be into the game even more just movement-wise.
Tough match right here. Colley and Mayberry. Disadvantage. Colley.
Well, some want to call Texas the Cinderella team, the 10th seed here. Got by SEC regular season champ Georgia. Big win over number 2 seed Purdue in Indianapolis, and exploded with an impressive shooting performance in the second half against Xavier.
Just what did their kids say about Tommy Penders? How calming. We don't know what's going on.
Mayberry. Rebounded by Myers. Mays.
The hesitation put Bowers on his knees. Overdrive by Mays. Travis can really turn it up a notch.
Howell has not found the range from the outside as he did the other evening. 0 for 2 from the field. Right. And Todd Day at 6'8", who plays both guard and forward with the rebound.
Plays wherever he wants and plays them well. All positions on the bounce. Pretty tough.
And fouled by Travis Mays.
This can be embarrassing. You'll leave the furniture, the laundry, the luggage on the floor when a guy pulls it up and then blows by as Travis Mays did.
Very diplomatically put, Bill, the laundry. And Arlen Bowers feels it as he heads to the bench, replaced by Ron Hury. Ron Hury, a 6'6" junior who many of the Texas players feel left his best game back 2 years ago.
I think the improved recruiting, too. Don't forget the personal problems he's had off the floor as well, and the involvement of Nolan Richardson and his wife Rose in his life. So he has bounced back beautifully and very talented, and in certain situations can turn it up a notch for Arkansas.
And Day has yet to score for Arkansas, the team's leading scorer at 19 points a game.
One thing about Texas and watching them, Tommy Pender says they don't get tired. I think they get fatigued because of the up-tempo, and they don't have the quality depth of Arkansas.
Mays draws the contact, but no foul call.
Uri got away with one.
This is Day.
Look at this pull-up.
Uri, good rebound, and is fouled by Colley. Now, as we look at the offensive troubles that Todd Day is having in the early going, the first 6.5 minutes, gives credence to what Texas coach Tom Pender says. Mays gives Day an awful lot of problems defensively.
Well, that one was a good shot. I think Lee Mayberry's the guy now who's got to talk to him, calm him down. Obviously, all pumped up, such a big game, such a meaningful game. But as the game wears on, he opens up with the threes, don't forget. And then when you play him tight, he bounces to ecstasy.
And Duke with the shot at the buzzer in overtime to end the dream season for Connecticut. First team to move to the Final Four. Duke playing in what could be called Cameron Indoor Stadium North.
Oh, they have some success in that building.
Howell's second free throw ties the affair at 14 apiece. 13:31 remaining in the first half. James Brown along with Bill Raftery.
Texas runs a little high-low. You won't believe it if they do have a few plays.
Blanks. Most of them are of that variety.
They end up with a jumper, but I think those big fellas have to be rewarded a little and really punish the inside people.
Day by Mays, still can't find the range. Rebounded by Howell.
All our meetings, he's the guy whose name keeps popping up. Lindsey Howell, real solid on the glass or the jump shot. They've had trouble in past games with this trap. He walked.
Got away with it. Stolen by Credit.
Pretty
good
look.
back pass by Mayberry. And a charging foul on Credit.
Well, that's why you have to love Lee Mayberry. He sees all 9 once he has the basketball. A great give up and step in, but it doesn't negate the fine look of that talented lead guard.
Second personal foul on Lee Mayberry as the Big O. Oliver Miller comes in, a 6'9", 270-pound sophomore.
He may be the only guy in the building I might take over you if I have a difficult situation.
And I might use my quicker feet to advantage.
You're going to have to. And the one thing he leads or lends to this club is his passing on offense. He's an extraordinary disher, kicker out from the low box.
Darrell Hawkins, Lindsey Howell, Oliver Miller, and Lee Mayberry. In along with Ron Uri, the 5 for Arkansas.
Both clubs do that well, don't they? Come from behind with the strip. Now that was a set play. A little pick and roll high. He didn't use the pick, tried to go himself. 1-4 look.
Bill, both of these teams were hoping for an opponent that they didn't know as opposed to knowing each other so well.
Now they didn't get what they wanted, did they? They got the carry now. You don't see that too often. You can usually pick up the family and not get a turnover.
Earl Monroe helped to see to that.
He sure did.
With that spin move.
Earl, what they say, used to spin in a phone booth.
Third turnover for Texas. This is Mayberry being defended by Lance Blanks. Howell inside to Uri. Rebounded by Benford Williams. Aggressive rebound by the sophomore from Sweeney, Texas.
Mays got caught behind. He's got to do a better job on Uri. I think if these two teams met, it would look at this.
My
goodness. James, that was almost by the timeline.
From the Alamo.
I think if they wanted to meet, it would be in the final game, don't you? They're so familiar. Although the fast pace they both enjoy. I think I'd rather play somebody who played my type of game than somebody who held it like Alabama did on LMU.
Howell hammered by Panama Myers. And Panama Myers picks up his first personal foul. Lindsey Howell is actually a power forward in a guard's body, as I've said so often. Tom Pender's looking on, and Penders knows that that's one of the tough matchups for him because Howell did a great job against the 6'9" Pete Chilcutt of Carolina on Thursday night, scoring 25.
Well, think of the three-guard defense. That's one thing. So if Hal is playing the small forward, that's a tough matchup. Now if he's up front as the four-man, a bigger guy like Panama, Myers, or Collie has to play him, they don't have the foot speed to stay with him. That's an interesting matchup for Texas all afternoon.
Arkansas, the only Division I school to offer Howell a scholarship. And he's paid dividends for Richardson. And right now, he pushes the Razorbacks in front of Penders' Longhorns by 1 with 11:44 remaining.
If you're considering an Accord or Camry, consider Car and Driver magazine's report on the Mitsubishi Galant after a special 30,000-mile test. They called it an ideal car for a deep and meaningful long-term relationship, adding that over 30,000 miles, not a single thing went wrong with the Galant. That's right, nothing. Nothing went wrong. How many long-term relationships can you say that about? Now you could save up to $1,000 with factory-to-dealer incentives.
Rock and roll is okay, but I prefer rap.
Awesome. Wait a second. Shady Acres was supposed to get the Coke, and the frat house was supposed to get the Pepsi.
Coke, Pepsi, what's the difference?
I-24.
This is radical.
Hi, I'm Joe Garagiola with Johnny Bench. The action's been great at Toyota's Big League Sales event. Let's go to Johnny for a post-deal interview.
Harmon, great deal you made today. Let's take another look.
Okay, well, here's where the Toyota dealer put the deal right where I wanted it.
I'll say 1,300 in factory-to-dealer incentives right down the middle.
Yeah, and the 735 and option packages look great.
Well, you got all of it.
And I drove it right out of here.
Joe, back to you.
Don't miss the excitement at Toyota's Big League Sales event. It's the only game in town.
Back here at Barnhill South, as the Razorback fans like to call it, one-point ball game, and University of Arkansas located in Fayetteville, Arkansas, enrollment around 12,000. And take a look at some of the famous alumni, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson, of course, here, and our own Pat Summerall.
And Pat played a lot of sports when he was younger.
And he's here as well, watching the Razorbacks right now. This is right.
And the first time to switch to the zone, the spread 2-3, you'll see a lot of dribbling, and the numbers in Arkansas's favor.
And the basket in Arkansas's favor by Lindsey Howell.
Well, when you dribble, drive, you've got to rotate back, and Texas did not then.
Blanks. Tapped up by Myers. Loose ball picked up by Mayberry. Mayberry playing with 2 personal fouls. Goes up for the 2. Mays.
He is amazing in traffic. Not as big as the Arkansas people, but quick to the ball. Here's the zone. The high post, they get some entry passes, and they will dribble against this spread.
Mays has got NBA range and beyond on this 3-point shot. Good kick. Williams stripped. This is Hury. Back to Hury from Mayberry. Give the credit to the touch pass of Mayberry.
They work very hard on it. It's an attractive way of attacking. They don't dribble. Don't make mistakes.
3 by Mays. Rebounded by Myers. Blocked by Miller. And Miller intimidated Texas into that loose ball.
Well, that was for the guys on the bench. He's got all the youthful exuberance you love in this great game. He mentioned he wants to lose the weight. He wants to get up higher, be more active. But right now, impressive. Maybe a little bit like Wes Unseld.
Marlon Bowers and Ernie Murray in to replace Mayberry and Hury for Arkansas. And it has been the kind of game we expected back and forth. Collie.
Ooh, some range for
near 3-point range, but it was a 2-point shot by Collie. Interesting, when he was talking with us with the guard says the big guys can't convert and they don't want the ball inside.
Right.
Collie said, how do you know?
Because how do you know? And let me try it. You notice Miller on the block. He's going to be a key guy passing for Arkansas.
Hawkins with that last basket for Arkansas. We've got a foul down here on Arkansas. look to be on Arlen Bowers, his second personal foul. Bowers is one guy that Texas says they would absolutely leave alone, let him take the outside shot because he can't hit it consistently.
Once in a while, but Texas has trouble inbounding against Arkansas's half-court defense under the basket. They had to call 2 timeouts in their last game and had a turnover as well.
And that's what Arlen Bowers is known for, his defense. You saw that tip pass on the inbounds play.
James Bowers can nail enough outside to make them play him, though.
Collins. Pump faking. And Miller not buying, forcing the wild shot. This is Murray.
They stretch the D even wider with Miller in the game. Nice look.
Good move. Murray misses the easy layup. And Joey Wright, good call by the official as Wright was out of bounds when he came in to get that ball.
He hadn't established himself. But you can see the multi-dimensional Todd Day, known as a scorer, the read, knowing the backside it empty. Nice catchable bounce pass.
Big O.
Now they called Oscar the Big O because he ruled the game. Oscar Robertson.
And Oliver Miller rules the cafeteria.
Sure does. He wouldn't have fit in my program. We would have been bankrupt trying to pay the groceries.
Kick ball, fresh 45, as Lee Mayberry comes in, replacing Ernie Murray for the Razorbacks. And George Muller comes in, the 7'1" senior, replacing Panama Myers.
In our meeting with the starters of Texas yesterday, the 3 guards told us they've never played well together the same day. They felt the second half the other night they did. They need a big one together this afternoon if they're to win.
Colley trying to tiptoe in the middle is pushed by the waistline of Oliver Miller. His first personal.
You got to move the legs, and that's the problem with the weight. Gets there a little late, a little hip check. And he admitted he has to trim down a little bit. Maybe you could give him a couple of tips. This is where they struggle now on these inbounds.
Climb Mount Kilimanjaro. That'll do it. White rebounded by Colley. And Colley fouled again by Oliver Miller, his second personal.
Well, every game, a different story. And Miller now reacting quickly to missed rebounds or reacting to dribble penetrations. And as he recovers, the momentum can't be contained. Looks one way, makes his move, and really can't control himself. That may have been a play on, though, huh?
Would not have been a foul at the NBA level.
No.
Loxley Colley averaged 16 points a game against Arkansas in the 2 matchups this year. And he misses. Rebounded by Blanks. And Blanks smartly throws it off the leg of Oliver Miller as Lindsey Howell comes back in, replacing Darrell Hawkins.
Well, you need your legs to shoot jump shots, and the Texas trio of guards seldom go out of the game. Courtney Jeans comes in to rest one of them at times if they get into foul problems. But that's a major concern, I think, for Texas.
Mario Credit back in for Oliver Miller. Stolen by Howell. Bowers. Blocked by Mays.
What foot speed. Forget the elevation just to get back.
Howell over top of the 7-1 mark and scores.
James, what makes Arkansas tough, they can knock you out with a big play, but they also can come back after a devastating play right here to take advantage of any numbers situation or any mismatches. A real heady team.
Ben Williams in for Texas. Lindsey Howell averages 13 points on the season, has 12 thus far.
A lot of commitment goes on during the tournament with personal problems and situations. This is one his dad had been ill during the year. Was in a coma. He's fine now. He's gotten a chance to see him right here at home. And, of course, he said his dad watches the game. So
from the hospital.
You know, Lindsey's teed it up with a little extra effort.
3-second call on Joey Wright. And Arkansas enjoying a 5-point lead. 6th turnover for Penders' Longhorns. .12 remaining in the first half. On the line, a ticket to the Final Four as Hank Dudek, in for Texas, got caught for pushing Mario Credit, his 2nd personal foul.
Dudek just got the sunburn. Tommy wasn't real happy. They sat out and got a burn, and he's got to be physical. That's his type of game. Whereas if they make the Final Four, Tommy's going to have to buy some solar cane for him. But good help defense by Texas.
Why was Penders upset about the sunburn?
Well, he figured it would deter his ability to mix it up. And we're not here for a beauty contest. Look at
Todd Day.
Just shoots over people. Nice.
Inside to Day again. High percentage shot.
Well, he faces the basket and beats you, finds holes and beats you, and who better than Lee Mayberry to find them?
His first basket of the half. Todd Day comes at the 7:47 mark. And Bowers steals. Mayberry hammered.
Blanks with the giveaway. You notice the pressure half court. They're forcing them into dribbling and stepping up and pinching. That time, anytime you leave your feet, you're dead. Texas not valuing the ball very well.
Ron Huery in to replace Arlen Bowers, and this is exactly what Nolan Richardson did in the first 2 matchups, shuttling the guards in and out, and the guards of Arkansas felt they wore down the Texas guard.
Now, incidentally, Nolan Richardson is hollering at Tommy Penders. He wanted an intentional foul. That's his wife looking on.
Rose Richardson, the backbone of the family.
And just think, if it hadn't been for the Shamazal agreement, he would not be coaching. He was a high school coach, and because of the platelets in the earth, some of the American territory became Mexican territory, and they had to swap lands. They built a new high school under the Shamazal agreement, and if it weren't for that, Nolan Richardson wouldn't be the gift to the basketball world. He said he'd be a high school or a grade school principal. So fortunately, the Rio Grande helped their program.
Mother Nature smiled on Arkansas and Nolan Richardson as a result. This is Lee Mayberry. And his free throw pushes the Razorbacks in front by
8. For 1990, some Oldsmobiles are new from the ground up. Others are new from the top down. Some have striking new profiles, while others have bold new side views. Some new Oldsmobiles are at home in front of mansions, and others are at home in front of everything else.
This is the new generation.
Now, when you buy 2 B.F. Goodrich TA tires, get a Final Four commemorative NCAA basketball free. Buy 4, get an NCAA bag, hat, and basketball free. And after you're geared up, enter to win a 1990 Oldsmobile Cutlass Calais and a trip to the 1991 Final Four. Look for free NCAA gear at your B.F. Goodrich TA tire dealer.
B.F. Goodrich TA tires.
In 13 cities in 10 countries across the Pacific, they're playing our song. United Airlines Royal Pacific Service, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve, halfway around the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
Minnesota, Georgia Tech, then a team on a mission, Loyola Marymount, UNLV. Regional finals continues Sunday.
A packed house here in Dallas, Texas. Watching 2 Southwest Conference rivals go at it. Arkansas nursing an 8-point lead. Arkansas doing the job barely from the field. Forced Texas into 7 turnovers, and Lindsey Howell once again for the 2nd consecutive game here, offensively potent. Credit throws it away to Mays.
Courtney Jeans got the ball. They got it where they wanted it.
Mays with the hop. Thought he drew the foul. And Huery snatching it away from Blanks. This is Dave. And Dave just can't seem to find the range and maybe, again, give some credit to Travis Mays as a foul is whistled on Lindsey Howell.
He's coming over to get some advice from you right here, I think. Maybe rushing a little bit. You saw the poise, though, as he caught it, set himself, and then exploded to the goal. He will be a great one.
No doubt about it.
Mark it down.
Has grown 3 inches already. Joey Wright back in, replacing Courtney Jeans.
Of course, Courtney Jeans played so much last year until the tournament, knows and understands what has to be done at this level. And I think Tommy's going to have to yo-yo the 3 guards, give them that relaxation if they're going to hang in here. A lot of depth on Arkansas.
Myers with the miss at the free throw line for 3. Day way off the mark. And thus far, we have to give the credit to Travis Mays for forcing Todd Day into a horrendous shooting afternoon, at least in the first half. 1 for 8.
I just saw Nolan saying, relax, pass the ball. I think he's trying to force it too much.
Right. And Wright is fouled by Lindsey Howell, his second personal foul. In the act of shooting, he'll go to the free throw line. Joey Wright, Billy, is the player on Texas that the Arkansas players respect the most.
And I feel the same way. He's his overall grasp of what Tom Penders wants is so essential that when they run the break and when they penetrate, that he's the guy that has the ball.
And that was a shot right there of Evelina Wright, the mother of Joey Wright, watching herself as she's cheering on her son.
We've been home to Indiana. And in our meeting, didn't you get the kick out of he's the boss?
Without a doubt.
Joey runs the show. Joey Wright.
Mays and Blanks get the ink. He runs the show. 29-23 ball game. Razorbacks on top.
Tough matchup for Joey Wright with Uri. Now he switched back to Howell. Doesn't recover.
Uri. And what a boost it will be if he refound his offensive prowess. He's got 4.
Here's the 1-1-3. They'll trap out of it. They play the passing lanes.
Mays from downtown again for 3. 12 points for Travis Mays, and here comes Day. And Day with the circus shot.
The toughest one he makes. Texas not getting back in position. You can get back, but you got to step up.
Blanks can't get the foul. Here comes Arkansas. Steps and Mays really having a tough afternoon.
Not himself. He'll have a better second half. But you can reach in the bag. They always don't come up this pretty. But that is concentration. Whew. That should be 3, huh? A crawler.
Degree of difficulty certainly is a 10.
Here's the foul line approach now. They look to dump it in. And then turn and kick.
Top. Back to Blanks. This is Mays. And Mays with the one-hander. Day with the rebound. And Day, Billy, I agree with you. He's really working a little too hard.
Well, Mayberry should have it more. Nice cut by Howell.
He ought to have it more. He's got 14 points to go along with 7 rebounds.
Fatigue shows defensively. Texas backed in. They're not denying the cuts.
Largest lead of the game, a 9-point Razorback lead. Numbers. Right idea. Not enough oomph on the pass. This is Wright. Off Myers. Razorback ball.
Well, the defense's job is to get back and in position. Because Texas back, but not denying, not aggressive. Collie way late getting over, and as you noted, he can beat you a lot of ways, Lindsey.
Lindsey Howell should get a shot at the NBA level, if only because he does a lot of the little things so well.
He does it. He's a great contributor, and he knows his role with this club as well. But here's the guy, Lee Mayberry, that can calm Todd Day down. Of course, he's out with a rest now.
Miller.
Second half.
This is Bowers, and Bowers has to hit that shot more consistently, and he does it on 2 tries. Miller. Oh. Blanks.
Well, I know Oliver likes hamburgers, but he got a little egg, a little yolk on that jam. Got to finish it off.
Howell. Blanks for Texas. 2 on three.
Does it ever matter?
Not at all. And Collie gets, or make that Williams gets lucky as he is able to draw the foul.
All the traditional views on fast breaks, you can put them aside. Oliver Miller, we talked about the weight, the inability to get up quick, the inability on occasion to finish. Up pretty good for him, but maybe not the suppleness to complete the play.
Well, Lindsey Howell picked up his third personal. He takes a seat. And Darrell Hawkins comes in for Arkansas. George Muller also comes in for Panama Myers for Texas. Missed it. Miller with the screen. And Uri seeing no advantage.
A lot of their guys can handle, James. What an asset.
Hawkins.
He just steps it up when he comes in. A different level. A lot of speed.
A two-point shot by Hawkins. 37-28. Blanks to Muller. And Williams going up high, keeping it alive. Blanks blocked from behind by Miller.
Oh, not a good pass, Oliver.
And Arlen Bowers is caught for reaching in. And Bowers picks up his third personal foul.
The shame in it, Oliver Miller does a nice job not fouling. And when he gets control, not a lot of guys can do this, but the big fella, I think, better work on that one, huh?
You know, right idea, but if you're going to get fancy, as most coaches say, you better deliver with it.
And maybe in the open floor, too. Nolan not a fan of fancy play. First played basketball for the Dallas Chaparrals, football player as well. What do you say? He was touring around the bus with Larry Brown when his old high school principal called and said, I think you better get yourself a job. That's how he started in this business. Went back, taught, and unfortunately had a very small team down in El Paso and just concentrated on defense.
Small team, Bill.
Well, of course, when he got into a situation where they were a little taller, they ran, and that changed his whole outlook on the game.
And Blanks nails the second free throw to draw Texas within 7, 3:35 remaining. Up at the Meadowlands, they advance to the Final Four, awaiting the winner of this Texas-Arkansas game. And Billy, what do you like about tomorrow's matchup?
Well, when you think of Minnesota, you think of Melvin Newbern, a very talented performer, runs the show. The folks will get a kick out of him playing. And then you think of Georgia Tech with, of course, Kenny Anderson making that winning goal. LMU, fast-paced, they're going to enjoy it. Vegas is going to have to score an awful lot of points. Talk straight defensively, but they like to run as well.
LMU outruns any disadvantage they may have on the floor. Mayberry, partially blocked. 3:14 remaining in the first half. Texas looking to cut into that 7-point Arkansas lead.
It seems when Nolan is unhappy with his club, he comes right out and plays man-to-man. They get a little lethargic, a couple of silly plays maybe, and all of a sudden he likes, it's an extension of him, that aggressive play. They go after it.
Gets the adrenaline flowing, Billy.
Yeah, it does. Now he switched back to the zone on the out of bounds, which is a general rule for some basketball teams. They can't penetrate, it's going to force the dump to the foul line and the kick.
Collie, Blanks, White, Williams, and this is Mays for Texas. Tie ball stays. This end right here. Texas ball.
The speed of the Arkansas defenders is something that Texas may not be used to. Not that they haven't played them before. It's just that you get into a little over, you catch, you get your feet set. Well, Arkansas springs out, challenges the shot, forces you to go and step someone else up when you're free.
Travis Mays. A couple of NBA scouts thought he didn't drive enough. He certainly dispelled that notion Thursday night. Xavier.
Absolutely. Turns the corner, but they can't get free to get their feet set. Great reaction defensively. It's a little bit of a matchup.
Right for three. His 5th point.
That zone helps Texas be patient. And I know that's not the philosophy of Tom Penders, but I think it'll help them.
Out of bounds. Texas ball. Day back in for Ron Uri, and Mario Credit comes in, replacing Larry Marks.
I'm getting a kick out of the offense of the 90s, as we're dubbing it. The discipline that we're so used to. Coaches are willing to sacrifice their ego, let the players take over the game. It's an enjoyable outlook now. It's a little bit different than we're used to. Just flexibility and understanding and giving the kids the ball. And I think they're going to force a lot of people to change their tactics.
We talked about the backcourt scoring. Texas right now enjoying the advantage, 17-5.
Good look.
Up to Credit. Good look, indeed. Give the credit to Lee Mayberry.
Mayberry to Credit on the money. And the big guy can run the floor, though, and that's why Mayberry is so important to this club. He sees and delivers.
Coach Raftery, if anything, you kept your players smiling, huh?
Well, most nights that's all we had.
1:33 remaining in the first half. 39-33, Arkansas lead. Blank stripped from behind by Mayberry. And Mayberry showing why he is such a defensive threat.
And look at him just controlling the pace, too. Didn't have it, backed it out.
Dave, there you go. Had a chance to sit, think, now come in and score. His 6th point of the game.
This backcourt is almost a Mayday backcourt. They are devastating. Of course, Texas very offensive-minded, rests on the other end sometimes.
Wright for 3. And Joey Wright quickly answering back. He's got 8 points, averaging 19 on the season. Credit.
Good look by Mayberry.
And Mario Credit, all 240 pounds of him, came down hard on Panama Myers, who certainly didn't want to play the part of Mattress.
No, very uncomfortable position with everybody on top of him. They're going to take him out now as they put a sub in to save the timeout. And I think Tom Pender's club needs a lot of these delays in the game, just to relax a little bit, get the composure. I mean, pumped up.
And Bill, part of that reason also, you talk about these delays, so many people felt and feel that Arkansas is a lot deeper than Texas, but that's not necessarily the case.
Well, Nolan Richardson, as we see the collision and the ensuing banging of the bodies, and that's why I always stayed on the perimeter. Shot the jumper, let the big guys like you go crunching and banging around.
As Myers gets up under his own power and walks off.
But Nolan said that Texas has depth, but Penders doesn't use it. And my retort, I think his quality is better deep.
Indeed, you agree in Arkansas, without a doubt. Texas, of course, sitting a couple of players who did play last year. Courtney Jeans, one of those players.
And Nolan's glad Tommy's in the league. He plays my style. This is the penetration they need, the better passes.
And Mayberry with the steal with under 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Arkansas on top by 7.
A little bit of a spread. And of course, Bowers and Mayberry can turn the corner, and don't forget Day. They also can step back for the 3. Very good at driving you to the hole and kicking it back.
Shot clock is off. It's under 10 seconds remaining. Day. Mayberry had to get off in a hurry. And that'll do it. That's the end of the first half with the score Arkansas 43, Texas 36. CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Captured. And maybe Tommy Penders get back to the way he normally is. Excited, involved. He's been very subdued. He said his plan during the tournament was to let Jamie Campaglia, his assistant, get involved, let him relax. But more importantly, get into a flow on the offensive end. They've been struggling on that end. Arkansas, who has not played their typically smooth game, has to get Day in a comfort zone.
Blanks, Mays, and Wright, the BMW combination for Texas, has not been hitting on all cylinders in the first half. Only the middle cylinder, Mays, with 12.
Straight up man-to-man, they go over for the loop.
Credit did not balance himself before going up for the shot, and Texas.
Now you step it up on the defensive end. And Panama Myers, night in, night out, does a great job on the big guys. Nice cut.
Into Wright. Good pump fake block by Credit. Lindsey Howell. And a blocking foul is going to be whistled against Texas. Joey Wright. And that's his first personal foul.
This is why I wouldn't be a good referee. One of the few times Lee Mayberry made a bad pass, right? In a sense, what was Hal going to do with it once he caught it? And then the fumble on the baseline. You might punish the Arkansas team for the mistake if I were officiating.
Lee Mayberry, Lindsey Howell, Todd Day, Mario Credit, and Arlen Bowers for Arkansas.
They all break you down offensively. Face.
And Mays has done a nice job against Todd Day. Strips him of the ball. It looked to be clean, but foul from that angle.
He has had a tough assignment, has played him well. We've talked about his offense. He does guard, playing one of the premier performers, one of the future greats. And I thought he had a good, clean snatch.
You know, that slapping sound that is so many times influences officials, Billy.
Were you a leg slapper when you played?
I like to think an elbow slapper. And slapping it in the hook is Lindsey Howell, his 16th point of the game.
And that's that matchup. Who do you put on him when you're playing three little guys, or at least three guards?
9-point Arkansas lead. At stake, again, a berth in the Final Four.
Good recovery. They're really tagging the shooter. Somebody inside has to step up.
Right. Followed by Myers.
The penetration drew the defense. Of course, Panama found the hole.
6 points for Panama Myers. 2 above his season's average. Howell pump fakes, uses the rim as a block, and misses.
He's hurt, too. He's down on the sideline. He must have gotten a shot in the head.
Meanwhile, Mays with the 3-point shot. And Lindsey Howell is still on the floor. Crawled off to the side, but was grimacing in pain the entire way.
He had made a marvelous move along the baseline, used the rim to ward off the defender, and must have taken a swipe as he released the basketball.
And Howell, obviously, as we've indicated, the offensive punch for Arkansas. 16 points, 7 rebounds thus far.
Nolan Richardson out to check, as any coach would. You can see he must have just been slapped at. He is groggy. Apparently he said he's okay because Nolan Richardson's walking away. And like any coach, takes a little shot at the official.
And it looked as if Billy, he had gotten a good shot in the eye and was trying to make certain that he could see clearly.
Water, wasn't it? It looked watery.
Well, we know that his father, Lindsey Sr., certainly is pleased to see him back up under his own power.
Yeah, there's the scrape. You saw Panama Myers as he came down, got him right in the face.
That left eye.
Clean kind of a play, one that you play on through. But he really made a heck of a move.
Well, while Howell is being tended to, Oliver Miller is in the game, so Arkansas with the Twin Towers in, and Miller a good passer.
Great look.
Up to Credit, and he scores.
Now, Credit got away with a walk on this play, but touting a guy like Miller, the two of them together are very tough for Texas to match up. He can see people. Look at the soft touch. Now watch Credit. See him jump his feet? Ooh, he shouldn't have had to go wipe it out.
He called up nervous feet on the quarterbacks.
Little itchy, right? That makes you hurry.
Credit averaging 9 points. Has 10 on the afternoon. Guillermo Panama Myers picks up his second personal foul, and Credit drops in point number 11.
And the pressure, something that has given Texas problems. Let's go over the top.
Right. Miller with the rebound. Here comes Arkansas.
Nice pass.
Credit. Mayberry, the racehorse style, in effect.
Mayberry gives it up early, lets people make decisions.
Blanks, Wright, Mays, Colley, and Myers, the 5 in for Texas. And Arkansas with the steal. Mayberry. The other one, I think Myers is going to get called coming over the back. Panama Myers.
I thought Credit may have come in there a little bit short, but a pull-up jumper. Lee Mayberry, just a sage performer, understands what has to be done. Came up empty. Myers.
Sage performer?
Deep thinking, much like you.
George Muller in to replace Panama Myers, who leaves with 3 personal fouls.
And this may be the Texas benefit because he's a big banger, can match up against Miller. They can swap tails at the dining table.
Mayberry over top of the outstretched hand of the 7-1 George Muller. And Arkansas out in front by 9, 17-12 remaining in the contest.
Looking for their foul line positioning and then go to the goal. What's happening is Arkansas is turning them into the big guys, and Texas is not making good decisions. Be a little bit patient, kick the ball around.
Right, fouled by Credit and scores.
Once you drive into that area, you have to make good judgments. I thought Wright could have kicked it off. Good extension, though. May have looked like a house walk, but he got it all out of the 2 steps. But once they get in there, there are people on the wings that are wide open. Because, as we know, Mays and Blanks can drill them from deep.
Nolan Ryan thinking through a decision here as Credit picks up his 3rd personal foul. Joey Wright, runner-up Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana in high school as a senior. 11 points for Wright and a 6-point lead by Arkansas. And of course, the winner of this game will face the Blue Devils.
Now he's in
Mayberry.
He plays off the ball with Bowers in the game, and this is
good steal by Todd Day.
Great anticipation.
Mayberry for 3.
There is a new dimension for those who love to drive. It is long and sleek, smooth yet precise, designed for comfort, built for the road, shaped by the wind, proven on the track. Introducing Lumina, the adult sport coupe. When it comes to new dimensions in performance, nobody's winning like.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevrolet.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Amy, I hear your new teacher's real mean.
Amy, would you come up here and bring your picture with you, please?
Look at the picture.
There's a special power that can bring students and teachers closer together. The power to be your best.
Hey, how's your new teacher? Oh, she's okay.
Who gives you guaranteed morning delivery in the U.S. for just $8.75?
We deliver.
Delivery to over 95 countries worldwide for just $10.75.
We deliver.
With 46,000 drop-off points coast to coast.
We deliver.
Only express mail service from your post office. Because when it comes to sending it overnight or overseas,
We deliver for you.
Based on a true story. Neighbor turned against neighbor. Family against family. White against black. Common ground. Sunday.
Nolan Richardson has a lot of options. He can put Arlen Bowers in at the point, all of a sudden a 2-guard. Lee Mayberry, great clear out by Credit, setting it up. But the small forward now is Todd Day. So you've got speed, quickness, anticipation, and Day with the steal. That's a quick bang, bang, 5-point play.
And back to live action here. Mays being defended by Mayberry.
Ball movement and cuts. When they get it to the foul line, turn and look. You can see they're paying attention to the deep people.
Colley inside, loses the handle. Texas loses Arkansas. The excitement of NCAA championship action continues tomorrow. Minnesota against Georgia Tech. Loyola Marymount against UNLV. Georgia Tech, of course, won at the buzzer against Michigan State last night. Duke today against Connecticut.
And how about Tarshan? He's just going to take those opportunity breaks. Day with a force, but when you're that good, you get complimented.
8 points for Todd Day. Arkansas on a 12-3 run.
Good
and
quickness
a foul
defensively.
And Texas having difficulty finding the range. Travis Mays, of course, was really hoping for a big game today. Hurt his finger, his right index finger in the first game against Arkansas, scored only 1 point.
He had hyperextended it, but right here, he must have gotten quite a scrape as they're checking on Lindsey Howe.
Looks like he's been in a boxing match.
Yeah. But Texas, to get back in this thing, they're going to have to go inside, then back out. Their perimeter defense of Arkansas is tagging each guy. They're permitting the post pass, then the defense collapses. They have to slide and dump it out. Their dribbling penetration hasn't been the impact that Tom Penders hoped it would be.
Tom Penders looking concerned, as is his wife, Susie, there in the white, and little Carly to her right.
Checking the scoreboard. What a difference, huh? There's Arkansas a lot of answers.
This guy could help. Tom Penders says when he gets mad, Loxley Collie, he really performs.
Well, he's got 15 minutes to get mad and turn it on. But they're going to have a few stops and get some breaks going where they get the numbers.
They said they were going to slap him around a little bit before the game so he would be mad. Collie, this is Day with left-handed shot. Credit with the rebound and is fouled by Muller.
What Day does, though, is he goes to the hole, has that ability to shoot with either hand. He draw the defense, and all of a sudden, the disadvantage to Muller as he steps over, and Credit can clean it up.
Like a credit report, huh?
Yeah. I'll tell you, some of these kids won't have to worry about credit the way they play. A few years of all the credit they need.
$12 points for Mario Credit. That a very confident-looking free throw by Mario.
Not really, and quick to the ball. Now, Day usually plays off the ball a few feet and comes up with some steals. Look at this.
Mayberry.
He set it up.
It's a 14-point Razorbacks lead.
Day has that wingspan, doesn't permit you to see the floor.
Right, over to Muller.
Needs some composure right now.
Right,
that's the
out
kick.
to Blanks. Blanks for three.
That's been open all half. They've got to recognize their partner.
Blanks has only 9, averaging 20 on the season. Mayberry, nice move. And score.
Boy, does he have great feet. Oh, Fred Astaire would love those puppies.
Well, Rod Foster, the coach at Houston, said he is the most complete player to come into the league since Sidney Moncrief. Mayberry, that is.
What a shot.
Collie, rebound, and follow. Take your pick, Day or Credit. Todd Day gets assessed with the foul.
James, they've had their people set up with their feet ready, and anytime they've turned the corner, the defense has been drawn, sucked towards the ball. The kick out can be a great impact play for Texas.
And you said just that movement there is a change in philosophy from basketball from the old days.
Sure, nobody dribbled against his own. Of course, you didn't need to play guys with the wing expanse of Todd Day either. He gets them up in passing lanes, makes you do things you're not accustomed to doing.
Penders, the players have said, has gotten quiet and more quiet as they've gone further in the NCAA tournament. They want him active now.
They didn't say that about Campaglia, though, right? They said Jamie's got to chill out. The assistant for Tom Penders.
Second offering gets the roll. And it's an 11-point Razorback lead with 14:30 remaining in the contest.
Tough with Mayberry, usually gets it to the right person.
Todd Day defended by Mays, and Mays gets caught with the reach in. His third personal. Day has dropped in only 8 points due to that great defense by Mays. Day averaging 19 points a game.
They make you arrive at some decisions. They emptied for Day that time, took the big guys away. Now, if you go and help or double, they will dump it to Miller or Credit, whoever happens to be down on the box.
Day, Mayberry, Ron Hurley, Miller, and Credit, the 5 for Arkansas. Richardson running the Twin Towers together.
Nice.
Good pass to Credit. Followed by Miller.
All day. The drive, the draw, the dish. Maybe the miss, not what they wanted, but drawing the defense, the easy follow.
Mays for 3. And Texas can quickly shoot itself back into contention. 18 for Mays.
Very quick. Nice back cut.
Boy, Miller really does have a nice set of hands. Good pass.
It really complements the others.
Mayberry. Day with the rebound. Showing his versatility. Can do it inside and around the hoop. Fouled by George Muller, his 3rd personal.
James, if you're Travis Mays, you've done a nice job. You're resting a little bit because Todd Day isn't in an area with the ball or to make a back cut, and all of a sudden the size winning out on the errant toss. You just can't relax with him. And a bad first half because we know how talented he is.
Part of that super sophomore combination, Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, and the 3rd member of that trio, Oliver Miller.
And a lot of people wondering how these great players arrive. A lot of Memphis kids all of a sudden in this program. And Nolan Richardson said when Dana Kirk was having his difficulties with the NCAA and with the authorities, he went in there and got Uri to come to Arkansas, and all of a sudden the coaches in Memphis said, hey, he works our kids hard. He's been able to go in there and get a good player each year.
Seized on the opportunity. Todd Day began the day 0 for 6 from the field. Since then, he's been 4 of 6. He drops in 2 free throws. He's got 10. 12-point lead by the Razorbacks. 13:30 remaining.
Straight up man.
A ticket to Denver. Goes to the winner. Duke already there. The other 2 spots will be decided tomorrow. Collins. Credit.
Nice play by Wright. Didn't get it.
And a good decision by Day. Not so with the shot, but a fresh 45.
Muller should have had that.
Miller, nice pass inside to Credit. And Credit will go to the free throw line, but give the credit to Oliver Miller.
Are you breaking down the defense with the entry pass to the high post, particularly to a guy as adept as Miller? Oliver, the Big O, has a little bit of Day's feel for passing.
Hank Dudek in for Texas. So Duke will make its 3rd straight Final Four appearance. Close games been the name of the game throughout this tournament. 7 of the top 8 seeds eliminated. And Bill, we continue to use the word parity, but indeed a lot of good teams around. Ball State even showed that last night against UNLV.
It's really a compliment to the players. Their lack of respect maybe for opponent is part of it. They're not in awe. They just don't mind teeing it up with the best and giving it their extreme effort to come up with a win.
Oh, and Day fell on the back of Travis Mays' heel, and you could see he was in tremendous pain as soon as the body hit him. You could tell that's the moment that it happened.
Now he's getting up, which is a great sign. This is where Day is so tough, and that's almost with a crackback block in football.
And thank goodness for Mays, he was able to get that foot from up under the body of Day.
And he's in pretty good shape. Problem back, such a meaningful game. He's not going to admit it anyhow.
And he's dropped in 18 points, 2 of 2 from three-point land, so certainly Tom Penders wants to have him there.
I've seen Collie take it out. He really struggles inbounding the ball.
Yep. You called it, Coach. Billy, and again, I talk about the fact that the big players are so unaccustomed to having the ball. It's like, what do I do with it?
Well, you usually like a small forward to take it out, but they've only got the 3 guards. They want them on the floor. So Collie the best of the lot.
Mismatch there with Miller and Dudek, and Miller a little too anxious. Miller at 270 pounds being defended by Dudek at 194. That's about the kind of noise that Dudek was making.
The best is yet to come. Why don't you let somebody else guard him, Tom?
Day with the steal. And Blanks right back. And misses. Miller for Arkansas. They have the numbers.
He's coming up with them now, Miller.
A little ragged on the offensive end, and a smart decision by Mayberry to set it up. 68-54, Arkansas on top, looking to make it 6 straight over Texas in the last 2 years.
Disadvantage.
Miller takes advantage of it.
Sure did. Dudek looked like he was wearing Oliver.
Well, that's an oversized overcoat. Biggest lead of the game, 16 points by Arkansas.
Just taking away the dribble penetration with the pinch, forcing the issue now, Texas. And when they get in there, forcing them to hit the big guys.
Colley with the rebound. Coach, it looks like a little life is out of Texas right now.
Yeah, it is. And Tommy waiting for the television timeout, saving them in case they make a game of it. They don't change a lot off a timeout. It's not necessary to go sit and chat. You're going to just tee it up a little quicker, but I think the defense has shown signs of fatigue, and that's been his real problem.
Now, as quiet and easygoing as Tom Penders has been and indicating that he wants the players to have fun, at what point does he get active and more involved?
Well, he's trying to get active now as he's got Ben coming in. Benford Williams, who sort of stirs it up for this team. But if they're going to win it, he's got to get them to play some defense. That's where they're going to go.
Duke is headed to the Mile High City here at Reunion Arena. Texas and Arkansas fighting for the second berth there. And Billy, up to this point in the second half, what's it been like?
Well, the turnovers, 7-2. Texas struggling, trying to force things and having their problems. Of course, Mayberry's just been solid all ball game, and that's a normal stat, though. Texas struggles up front. They don't get a lot of contributors on the baseline.
Lance Blanks with 9 points, make it 10. Half his season's average. 2 of 8 from the floor thus far.
I'm sure Tom Penders said, hey, we got to tee it up right now. If we're going to get back in it, it's got to be now. We're explosive. But again, the defensive end with Miller in the game, it's a different Arkansas team because he helps be an assist man from the inside. So you got Mayberry outside looking for help, and then the big guy Miller passing to others.
Well, Nolan Richardson showing the versatility he has with his team to go any number of directions. Big, quick.
And Oliver Miller in alone with Dudek. He may take advantage of that.
Hawkins, Mayberry, Howell back into the game for Arkansas. Healy and Miller, the 5 for Arkansas.
Nice play defensively. Joey Wright caused it. They have to make things happen. A little unusual. Jump out. Be creative on the defensive end.
And
they got a walk. They got a violation on the baseline. Williams, you know, on the dead ball situation. It wasn't after a field goal. Ran the baseline. Got to have your head in the game.
At all times. Ooh, wasn't into the ball game that time as Wright showing a good heady play. This is Blanks for 3.
Wow, did they get back in a hurry. 11.
Down to an 11-point game.
Miller begging for the ball. Of course, the double edge, if they go to him and he forces it, he's got Dudek. He could do some damage, but if they break down their offense, and they got it on Miller, he was trying to post up and create some offense.
Lindsey Howell.
They've been stressing
trying to get it inside.
James, they've been stressing this more this year. They don't permit the postman to take advantage, and Mickey Crowley with the hop out on the call.
And a foul assessed to Oliver Miller, his 3rd personal foul. Team 6th. And Texas can shoot their way back into it so quickly as Mays followed by Dudek.
They got away with that. They had a kick out. Joey Wright was teed up, but Dudek bailed them out. Usually try 3-man play. Day, Mayberry, and Miller. Making it happen. Day likes to do it off the bounce. And they got Dudek with the grab, huh?
And Dudek and Miller going at it. Dudek extremely upset about something that Miller said and did.
This is more like the rivalry. They've been nice to one another. I'm disappointed. They've been woofing in tapes, and all of a sudden they come out like choir boys. Uncharacteristic.
Sounded a little contradictory, but the player said it would be a very clean, dirty war.
Oh, There's that smile.
And Billy, I tell you, I kind of like the excitement that Dudek brought to it, although Tom Penders is going to have him take a seat on the bench and bring in an even nastier one in Panama Myers.
Oh, that's why he goes in there to shake it up. And Oliver Miller, he thinks he's with the Razorback football team as he spread eagles. And now the dialogue.
Now Wright was upset with that forearm thrown by Miller.
And Blank's now chatting. They were on our truck, as you know. We did that piece. They were the nicest kids to one another, Blanks and Miller. Now they start. Now Mickey Crowley's going, don't be talking. But that's the nature of these kids. They don't mind it.
But you know, the kids really do respect each other. They know each other well, and it's a part of a playground psyche, if you will, to do a lot of woofing.
And Nolan said, hey, relax. Person, your playground when you were the chief woofer. I know that with your size.
No, they're a lot nastier than me right now. Texas fighting its way back, trailing by 11 with under 10 minutes to play.
Well, normally you say run an inside play. They're going to run a spread, which uses the dribble and then the dish.
Right. Foul. Blocking foul.
And Howell.
Looks like it's going to be on Lindsey Howell, who picks up his 4th personal foul.
The depth and quality. We talked about Arkansas's bench contributing. Nolan's got more answers, more substance. But that time Howell felt he got there early. That's where I think Texas is making a mistake. As they get to the goal, there are some people set up for short jump shots, but they're not kicking it often enough.
Howell back out. Arlen Bowers back in. And even when Howell went out, Arkansas did not suffer at all. As a matter of fact, they went on the spurt that put them ahead by 14. Well, Connecticut, of course, won on a buzzer beater against Clemson. Duke repaid the favor, won it today at the buzzer. They are the first team heading out west.
What a finish, huh, James?
Indeed it was.
A chance to...
And Billy, so many of them have been, and you can expect pretty much the same kind of action tomorrow. Right here, great action. Miller. Foul by Williams.
Good help by Williams. Ben very alert. You notice how they had Day in the corner. Anytime James Day's down in the corner, you've got to stay at home. It opens it up for Miller down on the box. And we mentioned it's a lock. There's not too many guys that he can't pin and hold on to. It's not WWF, but he could play in that league too.
Well, as a matter of fact, one of his heroes is Hulk Hogan.
How appropriate.
Well, they could call Miller the human condo. And Lindsey obviously affected by that eye. Miller uses a better eye on the second free throw.
The pressure again.
Day for 3. And whistle for the foul. It's going to be on Arkansas's Darrell Hawkins.
Well, he's one of those bang-bang guys, although they may have gone the other way with it. Yeah, they do. They give it to Hawkins.
His first.
But how about the killer instinct of Day? Steal the 3. He knows it could be a wounding blow. Didn't make it, but they just go after it.
And it was a series of 3s by Arkansas's backcourt. They really did in Carolina.
Yes, they did. Texas with a lot more enthusiasm on the bench, and Nolan comfortable, I think, because they're getting shots that they would like, and defensively reacting to the dribble penetration.
Richardson said there would be no more strolling with Rowland. No reason to here. It's a sitting Richardson.
And what I said before, he's happy to have Tommy in the league because of the style, but also the officials will get off his back and on Tommy's. Meaning Penders. Good post defense. Myers very good at it. Much stronger in there.
Good movement on the offensive end by Arkansas. See Miller wide open. And Miller should have continued through with the move.
He had it.
However, Texas over the foul limit. so he will go to the free throw line. Scott Eggert, the assistant coach of Arkansas, said that when Miller becomes a man, he is going to be absolutely awesome.
Well, I'm impressed right now. I mean, who's going to wait with that physique?
Dudek in. Myers out for Texas.
Mike Anderson. He had played against Nolan in junior college when he brought his 4 players from Western to Tulsa, and he said he was so good. I said, we got to get him, and that's how they won that NIT at Tulsa.
And Blanks in the lane too quickly for Texas, and Miller will get a second attempt.
Anytime you give him another chance when you're trying to make a comeback, you can see that Blanks, but now with Day underneath on the shooter's right-hand side with that 6'7", it's a big problem. Good check out here by Williams and Mays.
Miller can't capitalize. Under 9 minutes to play, a 10-point Razorback lead.
Back to the zone.
Nothing for Texas.
Against the zone, they dribbled or hit the foul line. With Williams in the middle, if he gets it, he can turn and kick to one of the shooters.
Mays. And finally, he gets the call. You know, he does that as well as anybody in college basketball.
Remember Walt Frazier as a Knick now? Southern Illinois, we all remember him as well. But he had that great ability to draw the defense. Mays from 24 feet with a pump fake. You know, we could pump fake all day out there. Nobody would come near us.
Pearl did a pretty fair job of that. Pearl, of course, being Earl Monroe. 18 points for Travis Mays. Make it 19. Had a career-high 44 points against Georgia in the opening round of the NCAAs. Darrell Hawkins assessed the foul, his second. Make it 20 for Travis Mays, and it's an 8-point lead.
A lot of answers for Arkansas as Texas gets close. They've done a little bit of the motion off the ball, the post up down low, and the heady backcourt now with Bowers, who's at the point, and Mayberry on the wing. Good play by Dudek. Now they don't have any help for Dudek. Good look.
Miller held by Dudek, could do nothing else.
He'll take you long when you hold him. But that's that good analysis by Arkansas. They possess that ability to understand, to see. You can see the high side baseline just a little bit late, and Dudek can do nothing but hold on to the handles.
Young man will transfer it from Richardson, make that Richmond 2 seasons ago to Texas.
And Nolan saying they're chatting to my shooter, disconcerting.
Didn't affect Miller. And the big fella, really very accurate during the tournament. Money time.
He sure has. Guess who's talking to the shooter? Lance Blanks. Did that surprise you? He's going to get those. I mean, you just can't relax on a free throw. Long arms, squeeze him. Usually have your little guy on that side.
Under 8 to play. Texas trailing by 9. Good pass by Miller.
Dudek's going to have to really see the orthopedic after this game. He's been leaned on by Miller. Nice hustle. Officials aren't sure.
Well, Tim Higgins makes a decision, and it stays at this end. But there's a break in the action. Only a 9-point game. Time with the road to the Final Four pregame show, and Billy, the excitement continues after that.
Georgia Tech, obviously a team, 3 great perimeter players. Minnesota, who I had during the year, Willie Burton, another great performer there, and of course UNLV. Can they run with LMU? I don't know. Not too many people can.
And again, the day gets started at 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, right here on CBS.
They score the goal
to Darrell Hawkins.
And he just loves to go. I mean, he gets revved up when he goes in the game. Nice step in.
Darryl Hawkins likes the move to the basket. The biggest adjustment for him was coming from high school as a center to make the transition to a high school, make that a college forward.
And do you notice Texas doing a little better job reacting defensively, though, to step in? And that's where they're going to have to win this thing.
Boy, Richardson really does have a lot of weapons to make use of for Arkansas, does he not?
I thought you were going to say heavy weapons. So the shot of Oliver there.
Loxley Collie, 10 points today, averaging 12 on the season. And Billy, he's the young man, of course, that all Texas fans know wears a size 10 triple E and has to wear a size 13 for the whip.
Amazing story. Of course, anybody with big families can relate to that. You always wore your brother's shoe, right?
Hand-me-down.
Your toes got a little tighter.
First pair of good sneakers, hand-me-downs.
Because he wanted Blanks to try him out. Get it to me. Let me show you what I can do.
And what he does is help to cut into that Arkansas lead, a 76-67. Razorbacks lead with 7:20 remaining.
Good job here. They stepped it up. Collie, and underneath was Hawkins.
And he was wide open.
Credit and Collie are starting to tee it up a little bit. Banging.
Collie can be one very aggressive ball player. No fear.
Not the least bit afraid.
Mayberry, off-balance shot. Rebounded one-handed by Collie. And Collie getting nasty under the boards. Wright to Blanks for three. Wright gets the rebound.
They got to run those long rebounds down.
Collie in the paint. And he's fouled.
Look at that ferocious look he had. He shaped up. Tommy, it's got to be churning inside. He's sitting there relaxing.
Fifth personal foul assessed to Mario Credit. So he leads the game with 14 points and 6 rebounds.
Maybe Collie's right, though. Give it to me. Let me go and do some damage in here. It'll take the pressure off the deep shooters just for a few trips.
It worked early in the game.
They went away from it. But that's because those weapons are used all the time, and that's what got you here. Tom Pender's letting the guards have that free run.
Maybe he's getting mad. Remember, I told him the guy he hit Xavier in the face with an elbow was Michael Davenport, a black belt in karate, and he wasn't upset about that.
So? I'll take him, too. Well, he better step it up the next 6:42 if Texas is going to have a shot.
And he misses this shot.
I hate to play poker against them, huh?
Boy, you never know what he's thinking.
He looks like Bart or Brett Maverick. Because the fear of pressing is the smoothness, precision-like offense that Arkansas uses to get it up the floor.
And Collie can't get the roll. Arkansas gets the ball. And the fouls are starting to mount up for both teams. Arkansas has the slight edge in terms of quality depth, however.
Good help down below. Collie really just tries to body Miller.
Bowers can't keep him honest with the outside shot, but Collie and Williams loses the ball and is back to Arkansas.
Not good communication there. One should have backed off. Good switch here. That's what they need. And a nice play on the jump switch.
And it's a push-off charge to Lee Mayberry. And Mayberry picks up his second personal foul.
Travis Mays. Just a new wrinkle. They're not a good pressing team full court where they run and trap, but here a little pull of the string by Tom Penders, the pop out, the old run and jump of Dean Smith.
Now, the Arkansas players indicated the last 2 meetings, they could tell when Texas gets tired because the shots are off and they start turning it over. Have you noticed any fatigue on Texas?
I thought they were tired, but now this spurt has gotten them going a little bit.
Mays. Case of overpassing.
Well, they're not used to it. And Susie Penders, wow. She gets into it. Tom better not come home late. And that's been the problem, too, when they've gotten close, made a few mistakes, Texas. But it is good defense on Arkansas's part.
Howell going up with the foul. Ben Williams will be whistled for his second personal foul. It's amazing when Nolan Richardson was scouting in the junior college ranks. He noticed how Howell was really doing the job consistently on the boards, and despite the size, was not influenced negatively that way. So, young man, I want you.
Very confident with the bounce, too. Prized with his dribble.
And Mrs. Richardson shuns the limelight. Likes to stay in the background, close with the team. She lets him take care of everything else.
A little smile there. He's such a delightful guy, isn't he? A great feel for his players and their off-the-court activities, too.
Howell, 1 for 2. He's got 17. Had 14 in the first half. 3 here in the second. 10-point game.
1-1-3. They look to that foul, and if they can, then pop it out to the wing.
Mays.
Nice one.
Collins.
Nice play by Miller, huh? Avoiding the contact and the possible three-point play.
Meanwhile, Colley drops in his 14th point. An 8-point game with 5:15 remaining. And a timeout is called by Nolan Richardson. Wants to discuss things. Razorbacks on top.
Would you like to play Arkansas here? They are terrific a lot of places, but in Reunion, it's not an easy day.
3 locations in Arkansas: Fayetteville, Pine Bluff, and Little Rock. And now Dallas's Reunion Arena could be added to the list. Miller steps, walking.
And he had Bowers with the double up wide open. Because there is seam on one point on the floor facing, and then on the box, it's a different technique for a big guy.
A chance to cut it to at least 7.
Exchange the high post, get the wing shooter. Wright got out, Williams stepped in.
I think my math teacher will be on my case about that, Bill. A 6-point lead. Howell. Myers with the rebound.
Look at this play by Arlen Bowers.
Great hands by Arlen Bowers.
You know, that was close to a backcourt. He dribbled it authoritatively. Where's he going?
And Williams, very fortunate on the no call. Day.
Oh. Major league.
And Day just indicated to his teammate Lee Mayberry, give me the ball. An 8-point lead.
He just comes up with all the best. Does want the ball at the end of the game. If it's close, they go to him.
3:40 left in the game. Regional final. Wright gets a second shot.
Good step through.
Score.
Pretty. The long rebound. Key for both clubs.
Miller. Foul by Myers.
And the guards did not help Panama Myers. He's the one that got down late. He had been down on the baseline.
And that's it. Be 5 on him. So Tom Penders and Jamie Campaglio caucusing.
Well, right now, the Reed, the big guy knowing he wasn't needed at one end, went to rest a little. Little cherry picking, little chippy hanging. But you notice he didn't get the support. Myers ended up tagging him.
Now, of course, for those who understand the esoteric language of basketball, the chippy being,
well, down all alone while the 9 people are at the other end. And you're just begging for the easy deuce. In looking at Arkansas's lineup, Day is bigger than anybody on the floor for Texas right now. So Nolan Richardson can do a lot of things. You can go to Miller low. You can have Tade back his guy in and shoot over him, or let him post up as well. Still the zone. Very effective going to the foul line and then kicking to the wing. Look at the wing.
Day with the steal. Good rotation defensively. And Dudek with the good hustle. But Bowers comes up with it for Arkansas.
Nice step through. Bowers really worked hard to control it. Did you notice Day in the middle of the floor? He was initiating the contact, got away with it.
Joey White, that is, assessed the foul. His third.
Now there's a story of the basketball game, valuing the ball.
Capitalizing.
That loop pass from Joey Wright all the way across. You just can't do that with the speed and the reaction of the Arkansas players, particularly Todd Day.
Arlen Bowers at the free throw line. Young man nicknamed Truck. Stands 5'10". Played football in high school, and they said he was named Truck because he had a habit of running over people. Not so at this level. Right now, holding on to a 6-point lead. And the front line scoring with Texas.
And a big play right here. Texas on a roll, playing very well. The easy pass is outside, but look at the zone reacting to cut off the pass lane. The cross-court pass and the long wingspan. Todd Day not playing well the first half. He certainly arrived in the second.
Bowers drops in the free throw. Pushes it out to a 7-point lead. As a matter of fact, Bowers at 5'10" can be credited for a lot of the development and improvement of Oliver Miller over the season, staying on his case, yelling and screaming. And drops in the second. One of these two teams will meet Duke next week in Denver, the start of the Final Four.
Really ragging the dribbler.
2:30 remaining. This is Williams. And Miller made him change it up.
Great job.
And a holding foul whistled on Joey Wright. And Joey Wright,
I think they may have given it to Dudek. Yeah, they did. They switched it, James.
So Hank Dudek, luckily for Texas.
Well, you may not have to jump real high, but you're imposing. When you carry that kind of weight, you change the direction and flight of some shots. Good presence by Oliver Miller.
And Dudek fouls out with 5 personal fouls, and Tom Penders having to go on the bench again. Loxley Collie comes back in. He's got 2 personal. For 3, his last 3 at the free throw line, Oliver Miller. Collins with the rebound. 2:20 remaining. 9-point deficit. Texas trying to eat into. Miller, good defensive move by Miller, but Texas right back, and Wright scores and is fouled by Todd Day. And that's number 3 on Day.
Major league move by Wright. He initiated the contact. That's why the smile by Nolan Richardson. Day in a disadvantaged position, but Joey wisely going to make the contact and get to the line. Big play.
17 points for Joey Wright. Perfect at the free throw line. Make it 18.
Oh, what a tough game.
Mrs. Wright. And of course, you would expect that from a mom.
What it does to a family even.
Down to a 6-point Arkansas lead with 2:03 remaining.
Little pressure almost caused the turnover.
Stolen. Recaptured by Bowers. Oh, good, quick, fancy dribbling by Arlen Bowers, and Joey Wright coming in for the help. Picks up the foul, his 4th.
Pretty good activity by Tommy's defensive group on the floor. First the full court, then the half-court trip. And Nolan's wife, I mean, she was up about 3 or 4 more inches earlier in the game, slowly hiding under the bar there.
Bowers with the 1-and-1. Misses.
They got to make the free throws. That's the name of the game. And stretch time.
Mays, right, blocked by Dave, foul by Todd Day, and that's 4 on Todd Day.
Pretty good reaction from the wing, though. Came out. Of course, Texas wants the field goal. Doing a better job now of getting in the middle and finding somebody. Earlier in the game, they were forcing the shot. You see Day over a little bit late, but that's creating with the bounce. Look for your partner. With Bowers and Newberry in the game, they can handle this pressure now. Of course, with Day as the post-up guy.
Down to a 5-point Arkansas lead.
She's almost saying, gee, I wish he had chosen an alternate field. This is not as easy as I thought it would be.
It's down to 4 with 1:37 remaining.
Should have passed it.
Miller, good pass to Howell, and Mays fouls. Give the credit to Oliver Miller. Good look in a quick pass.
Aggressive decision, too, and not a bad play by Texas, stopping that clock right away and forcing the freeze situation. You got to make them. But right here, look at this snap. He put his body into that, baby.
Well, surprise Howell didn't get carried out of bounds.
Well, those handles don't get in the way of a pass, huh?
Handles?
The love handles.
Lindsey Howell drops in point number 18.
Really admire kids who can stroke them at the end of the game. It's a compliment to them and what's inside that.
You'll notice the black piece of tape on the jersey of the Arkansas players, a tribute to Hank Gathers. And Howell. Arkansas up 84-78.
Good job here to try to make Texas use time, use the floor. They should settle back in. They've extended the defense. Now they're back.
Mays. Miller.
Home run.
Up to Dave. Slam by Howell.
Exclamation. And he gave the 6-shooter to Blanks.
Gets the roll.
Got the timeout.
Under a minute to play, and it's a 6-point game. And Texas, with good 3-point shooters, not out of it yet.
Quick trap gamble, and if they don't get it, give the foul. Just stop it now. They've got to control the clock as best they can without calling the timeouts. And Arkansas's got to get Mayberry or Bowers' hands.
And Joey Wright, with a look of disbelief on his face, thinking he had tied him up, Lindsey Howell. But Wright will pick up 4 personal fouls. Now, there was a correction made because we had indicated that Wright had 4 on the last foul, but there was a correction made. So this is number 4 on Joey Wright.
Pretty good job at trapping, though. They almost had that one clean. That's what they have to do, though. Give it. Tommy now with some offense in.
Specifically Mays and Loxley Collie in for Jeans and Shepard.
And the key guy here is Day. They got to squeeze him if they want to get it, Texas.
Howell off the mark. Williams with the big rebound. Under 40 seconds to play. Trailing by 6, Texas. Blanks for 3. close one here, and tomorrow it all gets started at 1 o'clock with the Road to the Final Four pregame show. And 2 basketball games on tap. Georgia Tech, Minnesota, and Loyola Marymount against UNLV. NCAA Tournament Championship action at its best. 32.7 seconds remaining. Arkansas on top by 3. And a quick foul assessed to Texas. Looks like Courtney Jeans.
I think you got it. Tried to get it on the sideline. Tommy trying to use people who can give fouls, save the offensive people. And right now he's got a discussion with Wright, Mays, and Colley near his bench.
And the guys that Tom Penders has in there to give fouls, Courtney Jeans and Wynn Shepard. Joey Wright coming back in for Jeans for offensive purposes, obviously.
Nolan Richardson has a pretty good press. I'll be curious to see if he runs it now, because Day is such an influence at stealing that could really nail Texas. So they have to be alert.
And Mays back in for Shepard along with Loxley Colley, replacing Gerald Houston. Colley. Texas down by 3. Wright blocked by Day.
Oh, what a save.
And Texas with no timeouts remaining. 21.1 seconds remaining. Down by 3. Mays. And Mays hammered his body into Arlen Bowers.
That's where patience would have certainly helped Texas. Great effort by Mays after the miss. I think that they could have gone inside. They've been going to that foul line and then gone out. When you dribble around looking for the 3, the perimeter defense is up on you. You can see the great challenge which has prevailed by Arkansas on every long attempt all day. And Mays with a tremendous effort to come up with that.
And what a way to go out for Mays. With 16.4 seconds remaining, Travis Mays dropped in 20 points for Texas. And I'm sure he's on the floor as much because of disappointment.
Now you're talking 19-9, and with this distance of another 6 feet, that's a 25-foot jumper. I think they could have gotten a little bit better. I know there's a rush. You're trying to get your club back in it. Interestingly enough, and unfortunately for Arkansas, Bowers was hurt. He's coming out of the game, so you can select the free throw shooter.
Now Bowers hit the floor harder than Mays, but it was an injury to Bowers' wrist that has him on the bench right now. Bowers, of course, the football player from high school.
I believe they've got Bowers out, and they're letting Uri, an 80% shooter. So you go from 79 to 80, but Nolan Richardson not wanting Bowers with the wrist. He was holding it, couldn't really extend it on the follow-through.
Arkansas lead.
Good job. They go for the 2 and then worry about the next one.
Wright blocked by Miller, but fouled by Oliver Miller.
Why Oliver?
Fourth personal foul on Oliver Miller. Susie Penders.
You're talking about valuable time, Oliver. Score in time. Toughest thing to teach young players. Situations, how to react. James is inside. I would put Collie down under there to get a rebound just in case Joey Wright happens to miss it.
A 5-point lead it still is, with 7.4 seconds remaining.
No timeouts now. So virtually Arkansas, now they're going to call it time. They don't have to take the ball out if Texas takes more than 2.5 seconds to score. Tom Penders setting up for that. I'm sure Arkansas now has to react, make them pass it away from
James. Shepard. It's Academic. Southwest Conference will have a team in a Final Four for the first time since Houston was there in 1984. Arkansas's first trip since the squad in 1978. Makes it 6 straight over the past 2 seasons over Texas. Today, 88-85 to win the Midwest Regional Final. They move on to Denver, and of course, they will face the team that got there first today, the Duke Blue Devils. Tomorrow, we'll know the other 2 participants. The Chevrolet players of the game for today, Todd Day from Arkansas, and for Texas, Travis Mays. Richardson has been a big winner every place he's been. He's making his first trip to the Final Four. For Bill Raftery, this is James Brown saying so long from Dallas. Now let's go back to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, JB. In Texas, Mike, you had it right. Made a run at Arkansas coming back from 16 down. Actually had a 3-point shot to tie the game. But let's hear it for Arkansas going to the Final Four for the 4th time. Tonight on CBS, we start off with Paradise, followed by Tour of Duty, and then Saturday night with Connie Chung. That will include an interview with Marlon Brando. We'll continue on the road to the final 2 pieces to the puzzle and the road to the Final Four. Duke and Arkansas are headed to the Rockies in the Promised Land. We'll see you tomorrow with more shining moments.
The ball is tipped. You feel the touch tonight, the rhythm's in your shot, and your step is like the crowd goes wild. This much is known, win another game, you're almost home. With one shining moment, you reach for the sky.